Hey guys, it's Eric with blahfreakinblah. Today we're talking about Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge marks Mel Gibson's return to the director's chair after a 10-year hiatus, his last film being Apocalypto, which came out in 2006. A highly underrated film that I highly suggest you watch, but it is not for the weak of stomach. The same can be said for Hacksaw Ridge, which tells the story of Desmond Doss and is a World War II story that happens the Battle of Okinawa. And as part of the Battle of Okinawa, it was they had to take this ridge to take Okinawa to help win the war against Japan. Desmond Doss, as I'm sure you guys are aware by now, he was the only conscientious objector to win the Medal of Honor. And once you see this story, you realize why. In telling this story of Desmond Doss, Mel Gibson takes his time to establish who the character is. You see events from his past, leading up to his leaving for the war, that well establish his motivations, his faith, and everything that would kind of pour into why he makes the decisions that he makes to not pick up a firearm. He's not an objector to the war. So the objector label doesn't really apply to him necessarily, and they actually say this in the film, where he's a conscientious cooperator, I think is the word they used. But he was not an objector. He understood that the war had to be fought. He wanted to do his part to help fight in that war. But his personal convictions, his commitments are what he was standing on, his principles. And they were righteous principles. And this is a story not only of the miracle that happened in that battle, where he, in basically the course of one day, saves the lives of between 75 and 100 men. It wasn't just the miracle that happened, and it was. I mean, you see this guy, there was no way this guy did what he did without divine help. That's my personal take on the matter. But it was also the story of one man's resolve. I mean, in the face of everything his convictions were, he came really close to, his whole life falling apart. And he stood his ground, and that is enormously inspiring. So did I like this movie? Yes, I like this movie a lot. I will be buying this first chance I get on Blu-ray. It was tremendously inspiring. It was emotional. It was visceral. It's very much the touch of, Mel Gibson's touch is to not pull any punches, and that remains completely true for Hacksaw Ridge. It is at times extraordinarily hard to watch. Warning to anyone who doesn't have a strong stomach. It is gruesomely accurate in its portrayal of what would have happened, what Desmond Doss would have been facing down in that battle. Mel Gibson's not one to shy away. It wasn't a glorification of violence. I believe it was just an accurate portrayal of what, he would have been seeing in real life, and standing in the face of even that, standing in the gateway of hell, and coming out and intervening the way that he did and inspiring the people that he was with. And really, how much of his presence helped them win that battle. You have to watch the film. You have to see this guy's story to really take in what I'm saying here. But it was like, this what he brought to the table. It was as if God's hand was on him to help them win. Not just as, I could go on and on about that, and that a lot of that is my personal take and thoughts on the matter, and take that for what you will. But the film itself, it is an act of pure cinema, and seeing it made me realize how much I have missed a pure movie. And what I mean, you know, you don't really realize you don't see it enough until you actually see it done again. Where there's this movie, there's no pretense. There's no winking at the camera. There's no self-awareness. You know, like when you see a tender moment, you just expect something to interrupt that tender moment. You know, like between him and his love interest. You know, you expect something to interrupt the swelling moment of, you know, just, like I said, tenderness. And nothing does. It just plays through because the heart of the scene, in the moment, that's what's there. And Mel Gibson just lets it play. In the brutality, there's no interruptions. There's no break in the story that he's trying to tell. It just tells this simple, true story of a simple but really remarkable guy. And I think it's most inspirational to me because it tells us, as simple as we may be, following your convictions, following your faith, what difference can you make sticking to that? You know, you can't see what will come tomorrow. You can't see the difference that you may play, you know. And it's on you before you know it, and you just ride and just, you know, no one would have ever imagined, nobody in his company ever imagined that he would do or be what he did or who he showed himself to be. And that's touched on very, very gracefully and respectfully in the film. Good, strong performances by everyone involved. Mel Gibson is the consummate director. I would love it if he started pulling a Clint Eastwood and had a film every year or two, because I just really love Mel Gibson's style. This movie gets the highest marks from me. I think that everybody deserves praise. Andrew Garfield, you know, Vince Vaughn, Sam Worthington. I mean, the entire cast. You know, Hugo Weaving, remarkable job. I mean, just remarkable. Mel Gibson gave them the room to shine, and they did. You know, they really did. This movie comes with my highest recommendations. If there's any way of seeing this in the theater for you, please go see it. I mean, understand that it pulls no punches at all. Anybody who's seen Braveheart or The Passion or Apocalypto knows that Mel Gibson doesn't pull a punch. But it's all the stronger a film for it, and it really is necessary to tell this story in the way that it deserves to be told. See this on the big screen if you can. This is good, old-fashioned cinema. I mean, this is real cinema that captures the emotion and the heart, and it isn't trying to sell you a toy or a t-shirt. You know, it's a really strong film. It's just really trying to tell you a story that needs to be told. So go see it, guys. And once you see it, come back. You know, let me know in the comments section down below what you thought of the film. You know, whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it. You know, and what if this movie inspired you like it inspired me. You know, tell me how it did. You know, but anyways, thank you guys ever so much for watching. Sorry for the bare bones set lately. Got some stuff packed up, and we're looking to make a move. You know, to better digs, hopefully. So, like I said, leave a comment down below. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos, because I'd love to see you next time. I appreciate you as always, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.